Hello guys, you're welcome back once again to the YouTube channel. On this video I'm going to be telling you guys basically the things you need to know about your female rabbit. So many rabbit farmers that started rabbit farming don't know these things, and they tend to ask questions about these things very often. So if you have come across this video, it means you have been opportune to know these particular things. So don't skip on any part of this video so you don't miss any part of these ideas or all this knowledge I'm going to be sharing with you guys in this video, because I've been farming rabbit for quite some time now, and I know that I know some quite good number of things about rabbit farming and female rabbits. So on this video I'm going to be telling you guys basically all the things you need to know about female rabbits. Some of the most asked questions about female rabbits from the beginner rabbit farmers and even the people who have been farming rabbits for years, they tend to ask this question because they don't know the right answers to these particular questions. So I'm going to be answering these particular questions after I ask them. So the number one question a lot of rabbit farmers do ask is, what can I do if my female rabbit refuse to mate? So many people try to mate their female rabbit. So many people try to cross them with the males, and they notice that it's very hard for them to cross. The female rabbit is either refusing to cross or the male rabbit is not very active to cross. So if the issue is from the female rabbit, as I said, we are talking about the female rabbit. If the issue is from the female rabbit, then there are some things I'll be telling you guys to do in this particular video, which is force mating. There is what we call force mating, whereby you force the female rabbit to cross with the male rabbit by using a rubber band to tie her tail. There is a video we did about force crossing. After this video, you can go and check out that video on how to force cross a female rabbit. This way is very easy to mate a female rabbit. And once you do this, you are like 80% sure that your female rabbit is going to cross. Although force crossing does not guarantee 100% pregnancy. The best time to cross your female rabbit is when she accepts on her own. That is when she is on heat. So another question a lot of rabbit farmers do ask is, what time does female rabbit give birth? Okay, for the time female rabbit do give birth is either early in the morning or late at night. They hardly give birth in the afternoon. So if you're a rabbit farmer and you want to see your rabbit give birth, I think then you should stay awake at night to want to see them, because a lot of rabbit farmers do say they want to see their rabbit breastfeeding, or they want to see their rabbits give birth. Rabbit do breastfeed at night, and also rabbit do give birth at night. So you might not really see them breastfeeding or not really see them giving birth. So all you just need to do is put the necessary things in place when they are pregnant and almost due for delivery. Put the necessary things in place so that once it's time, they're going to give birth safe and sound. You might just come in the morning to your farm and you notice that you have welcomed a lot of bunnies into your rabbit farm. So another thing also a lot of rabbit farmers do ask is what to do when your rabbit wants to give birth. So when a female rabbit wants to give birth, there are some things you need to do, and there are some food you need to avoid giving them. So food containing antibiotics or any injection, you should not give it to your female rabbit, as this might cause them a miscarriage. Yes, no injection containing antibiotics. If possible, avoid all injection. If you want to give them like the multivitamin, which is very good for the female rabbit, I would advise you to give it to them orally, like put it inside their water and give it to them. That way the female rabbit is not being punctured with a needle. It takes all the medication through the water orally. So another thing also you should want to avoid when your female rabbit is pregnant is not always picking it up every time, like carrying the pregnant rabbit up all the time. It's not really good, and this might cause her miscarriage, because she might get stressed and she might tend to have a miscarriage, always carrying her up and down and all of that. So you don't want to do that. So some things you need to put in place when your female rabbit want to give birth is the nesting box. For those of you guys who don't know the nesting box, a nesting box is kind of like a box where you put into your rabbit cage, and your female rabbit is going to give birth inside the nesting box. Some of the few reasons why female rabbits give birth inside the nesting box is because the nesting box have such like a hidden kind of design, whereby it keeps these kids in kind of like a private space. As you guys know, in the wild, rabbits do give birth to their kids underground, like they do dig the ground and give birth to their kids. So if you put in the nesting box inside the cage, that nesting box will be like the only private space in the whole of that cage. So the female rabbit, if it is a good one, will be forced to give birth to those kids inside the nesting box, because the nesting box is hidden. And some of the few things they will do is that they will pull their hair, like they will remove their fur, the hair from their body, and put it inside their box to keep their kids warm from cold. And this is also another thing the nesting box does. The nesting box keep these kids away from cold, as cold can be one of the major killers of these rabbits, of these rabbit babies. Cold can be one of their major killers. So you don't want your rabbit babies to die. You need to put them in this nesting box so that nothing is going to happen to them. This nesting box is going to keep them like in a warm way, which all of them are going to stay together. You know, if all of them are touching each other, they are going to be warm, like because they're feeling each other. All of them are going to stay together with each other. They're going to be really warm. So put them in the nesting box. And also you need to put in hay inside their nesting box. The rabbit is going to arrange this hay. When I say the rabbit, the female rabbit is going to arrange this hay, that is the dry grass, and get birth inside her. That is the dry grass, and pull her hair, remove her fur. Then she's going to give birth inside this particular nesting box, and that is going to be very, very fine for her. So another question a lot of rabbit farmers do ask is what to do when your rabbit is not breastfeeding her kids. So for when your rabbit is not breastfeeding her kids, there's quite some good number of things you can do, like separating the kids from her and force feeding her. But before I come to talk about force feeding, I want to give you guys a little tip you can try out. Then maybe if it does not work out, you can also try out force feeding. So if your female rabbit gives birth and you notice the female rabbit removed her hair, that is like 80% good, like a good way to know that this female rabbit is going to breastfeed this particular kids. But if she remove her hair and she still did not breastfeed these kids, there are some things I would advise you to do before trying out the force feeding. In the morning, take her into the nesting box and hold her there for like 5 to 10 minutes. Then allow her to jump out on her own. Do this again in the evening. Do this for 3 days. And most of them will pick up and start going into the nesting box on their own to breastfeed the kids. But what if you do this for 3 days and you still notice the female rabbit is not breastfeeding the kids? There's what we call force feeding. Force feeding is you are going to separate these babies from her and keep them in a warm place away from cold. Then you are going to be using her to force feed them, like you are going to be using her inside the force feeding box. Put her inside the force feeding box, then the kids are going to be sucking the breast milk. When you take her inside the force feeding box, after 5 minutes you take her out, then you take back the kids to the safe and warm place. You do this for 2 weeks, then you can now put in back the kids into her cage, because by then the kids will start walking, so they will be struggling and pushing her to suck the breast milk. They'll be chasing her to suck the breast milk. That time she does not have any choice than to breastfeed them. So I hope I've been able to tell you guys some few things about female rabbits. If you learned something from this video, please do well to give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our videos, and also share to other rabbit farmers so that they can also learn from this video. Thank you once again. Do have a nice day, and until next time, as I always say, peace out.